Some rulers are remembered for their military exploits, and others for their wisdom and reforms. Wenceslaus, however, would never know true peace. Born into the powerful Luxembourg dynasty in 1361, he should have been destined for greatness. His father, Charles IV, Holy Roman Emperor, cast a long shadow. Charles was a shrewd ruler, a skilled diplomat. Wenceslaus, in contrast, appeared impulsive and erratic. He possessed a sharp intellect, but seemed to lack focus. His tutors despaired. The young prince preferred hunting and feasting to matters of state. This disconnect between expectation and reality would define Wenceslaus's tumultuous reign. Even as a child, Wenceslaus was a study in contradictions. He could be charming one moment, volatile the next. Historians debate a possible mental illness, but evidence remains inconclusive. What is clear is that Wenceslaus inherited a kingdom ill-prepared for his turbulent nature, and he, in turn, seemed ill-prepared for the crushing weight of the crown. At the tender age of 16, Wenceslaus found himself thrust onto the throne of Bohemia. His father, the formidable Charles IV, had passed away. The Holy Roman Empire, a fragmented tapestry of principalities and duchies, now looked to Wenceslaus for leadership. Could this untested youth, more comfortable in the hunting lodge than the council chamber, possibly hope to fill his father's shoes? The early years of Wenceslaus's reign offered a glimmer of hope. He showed flashes of his father's diplomatic skill. He worked to maintain peace within the empire's borders. But the old habits, the restlessness and thirst for pleasure, soon reasserted themselves. Wenceslaus began to withdraw from the burdens of rule. He left the governance of the kingdom to a series of advisors. These advisors, often more interested in personal gain than the welfare of the people, exploited the king's inattention. The seeds of discontent were sown, destined to bear bitter fruit in the years to come. As time wore on, Wenceslaus's behavior became increasingly erratic. He retreated further from the public eye. He indulged in lavish feasts and hunts. Tales of his drunken revelry spread throughout the kingdom and beyond. The once promising ruler had become a source of mockery and fear. One particularly bizarre episode cemented Wenceslaus's reputation for eccentricity. He developed an obsessive fascination with the relics of saints. He would travel vast distances to acquire these sacred objects. He amassed a vast collection, rumored to include the finger bone of Saint Vitus and a vial of milk from the Virgin Mary. This obsession, while seemingly harmless, fueled perceptions of madness. The line between king and madman blurred with each passing day. Wenceslaus's reign was a tapestry woven with threads of cruelty. One chilling tale perfectly encapsulates the king's descent into madness. During a grand tournament, Wenceslaus ordered 3 tents erected, one black, one white, and one blood red. He then commanded his nobles to choose a tent and enter, their fates sealed by the color they selected. Those who entered the black tent were to be spared, their lives a reward for loyalty. Those who chose the white tent would be banished from the kingdom, stripped of their lands and titles. But the red tent held the most sinister fate. Those who dared enter the crimson pavilion were summarily executed, their blood staining the ground, a gruesome testament to the king's capricious wrath. This macabre spectacle horrified the court and cemented Wenceslaus's reputation as a tyrant. Fear, not love, now held his crumbling kingdom together. By the late 14th century, Wenceslaus's grip on power began to slip. His erratic behavior, coupled with his neglect of state affairs, had alienated his nobles. They grew tired of his capricious rule, his drunken whims, and his cruel jests. a conspiracy arose, led by his own cousin, Jobst of Moravia. In 1398, Wenceslaus found himself a prisoner in his own castle. Jobst and the rebellious nobles had seized control of Prague. The king, once considered all-powerful, was now at the mercy of his enemies. But Wenceslaus was not one to remain defeated for long. He managed to escape his confinement and fled to loyal allies in Bohemia. The kingdom now teetered on the brink of civil war. Wenceslaus's troubles were far from over. His younger brother Sigismund, King of Hungary, saw an opportunity in the turmoil engulfing Bohemia. Sigismund, ambitious and ruthless, coveted his brother's throne. He invaded Bohemia, claiming to be acting in the best interests of the kingdom. The rivalry between the two brothers was bitter and destructive. Wenceslaus, weakened but defiant, refused to cede his birthright. He rallied his remaining supporters and fought back against Sigismund's forces. Bohemia, already torn by internal strife, now became a battleground for a dynastic struggle. The people caught in the crossfire suffered greatly while their rulers waged war for personal gain. As Wenceslaus grappled with his brother, a new threat emerged. Wenceslaus's reign was marked not only by personal eccentricities, but also by religious turmoil. Jan Žižka, a charismatic and brilliant military leader, emerged as the champion of the Hussite movement. The Hussites, followers of the reformer Jan Hus, challenged the authority of the Catholic Church. They demanded reforms, a claim to return to the simple teachings of the Gospels. Žižka, despite losing an eye in battle, proved to be a formidable opponent. He organized and trained the Hussite armies, employing innovative tactics and weaponry. He led his followers to a series of stunning victories against both Wenceslaus's forces and those of the Holy Roman Empire, which sought to crush the Hussite heresy. Bohemia, once on the verge of collapse under the weight of Wenceslaus's misrule, now found itself at the heart of a religious revolution. The Hussite wars raged on for years, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Wenceslaus, though king of the Germans, had not yet been crowned Holy Roman Emperor, and had delayed doing so. He quarreled with the German princes over the schism question of determining which pope was the real one. The situation escalated. He was deposed as king of the Germans in 1400. He also supported John Hus, even in contradiction to many of the German princes. Over the years, this brought him into conflict with the Catholic Church and with his brother Sigismund, who became king of Germany in 1410. Wenceslaus was a man of contradictions, capable of both kindness and cruelty, intelligence and folly. The once mighty emperor died in 1419, not on the battlefield, but from natural causes. His death did little to quell the storm he had unleashed. Wenceslaus's legacy remains a subject of debate among historians. Some view him as a tragic figure, a ruler ill-suited for the burdens thrust upon him. Others condemn him as a tyrant, responsible for immeasurable suffering. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. His reign, marked by instability, cruelty, and neglect, had left Bohemia in ruins. His reign serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most powerful rulers are not immune to the corrosive effects of their own demons. His story, though centuries old, still holds the power to captivate and disturb. A stark reminder of the fragility of power and the enduring consequences of unchecked ambition. Thank you for watching. If you found this video beneficial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Traudistoria to continue learning from the annals of history.